Welcome, everyone. So, thank you for your time. It's an amazing Wednesday today. I'm here, Dr. Charles Edward Fernando, and I'm back to answer your questions for this week. I want to thank you especially for everyone in the Kids with AR thread. I'm answering a lot of their questions coming from that Facebook group. And also, you could also attend my own group, the Holistic Asthma group. Yes, I'm also like to greet everybody in that group. So today, I'd like to invite you all to my talk on Saturday, February 12th. So I'm going to be focusing GERD and asthma. What do they have in common? February 12, 8:30 p.m. Please type me in the comment section below, and I will send you invites to my talk on February 12th. I want to thank you for your time today, and I'm going to make this quick and very effective. So let's take a look at our questions for today. Well, first of all, I noticed that somebody posted this in the Facebook group, and it said, coffee may help your asthma. It says, caffeine in coffee can reduce respiratory muscle fatigue and temporarily improve lung functions. And she placed there a website, Asthma and Allergy Network. Thank you for whoever posted this. So let's talk a bit about coffee. You know, everyone loves coffee. Well, not everyone. A lot of people here have my coffee cup with me, and it actually has my logo on it. So thank you, by the way, to Astoria. If you would like to have your own cups made like this, let me know. I'll connect you to an excellent guy. He makes a lot of these. Very, very well made. Alright, so coffee may help your asthma. Alright, so what is it? No? Well, first of all, our main issue is that there are many different kinds of coffee. So we can't categorically say, hey, all coffee, no? So you have like a 3-in-1s, you have coffees that are brewed, you have black coffee, and so many, no? But a lot of them have in common that they have caffeine. Unless you are drinking the decaffeinated one. Okay, so the caffeine in coffee, as mentioned by that slide earlier, caffeine is a mild bronchodilator. What bronchodilators do is they open up your airways, so it makes the air go in and out much easier. So yeah, so you have some people who like coffee because it makes them feel better, makes them breathe much better. It could be the caffeine, no? And the caffeine, yes, of course, it's an upper, it wakes you up. Now, caffeine is also found in teas, no? In teas, particularly the darker teas have more caffeine than the lighter one. So you have here in this picture on the very last side, the one that's closest to the pot over here, it's almost white, and it starts to become darker and darker. So this is the white tea. Almost has no caffeine. Green tea has very, very little, and you have the dark teas, the dark and the black teas, which has a lot more caffeine. So if you want to have more caffeine, you go for the darker black teas. Alright, and I suppose that's also how it's going to work with coffee. If you want more caffeine, then you make your coffee blacker. Now, another source of caffeine is cola. Cola doesn't normally have, it's not supposed to have caffeine on its own, but the manufacturers have added caffeine on cola and soft drinks to make it up and add to the I think it adds to the addictivity of the coffees, I mean of the cola, so they make it more addictive. So you wonder, no? Let me go through here. These are the list of caffeines in common sodas, and you could see several here. So you could see number 3 and number 4 are yellow colored lemon flavored soda. So you may wonder, how come these lemon flavored sodas, what they feature are people going doing skydiving, jumping into pools. They're like really becoming crazy. And one thing is perhaps because these soda, the lemon flavored ones, are often packed with a lot of caffeine, and you can see they're some of the highest in the in this chart, no? So yes, there's even a particular cola brand that advertises itself as something with very strong caffeine. So cola is one of the places. Now you might wonder, where did these cola companies get the caffeine from that they're using for cola? Well, have you heard of decaffeinated coffee? So that's just a clue. You have coffee, they remove the caffeine there, and they have to sell it someplace. You know, they sell it to the cola manufacturers, they put it in the cola, and that's where the caffeine goes into. Of course, the process itself may not necessarily be healthy. I don't think it's a healthy process in itself. All right, so another place for caffeine is your your energy drinks, as seen here. No, energy drinks are becoming quite popular, and in fact, there's an estimate that says as much as 50% of children around the world have been drinking energy drinks. Well, I don't advocate energy drinks. Aside from caffeine, I don't know what else they put there. I haven't actually tried any of these energy drinks myself. And let's just say these energy drinks is not my cup of tea, or in my case, coffee. So one thing that the energy drinks and the colas don't have, that coffee and tea certainly have, is theophylline. Now, theophylline is another substance which is another bronchodilator. It also opens up your airways, makes it easier for you to breathe. In fact, theophylline was a medicine for asthma for a long time, and until now it is still used for asthma in COPD, but it's now been delegated as a second like a second line, not the first line anymore. So I had this when I was a kid. I used to take the liquid version of this medicine. It was called Quibron. It came in a violet packaging. I still remember the taste until now. It tasted terrible. I had to take it every day, and would make my heart feel like it was thumping, And that's theophylline for you. It's not as popular now with the advent of better medicines, better than theophylline. So theophylline has the side effects that it can cause headache, can cause trouble sleeping, restlessness, nervousness, shaking, or increased urination. So if you do experience this also with coffee, you notice that coffee causes some people to shake their hands. Sometimes coffee causes people to urinate a lot faster, a lot more. Or when you have coffee, well, of course you're going to have trouble sleeping. You can't sleep. Aside from caffeine, theophylline is another factor in coffee or in tea that can activate this. Alright, so again, that's your coffee and all. Coffee may help your asthma, and so can teas. Alright, so I want to invite you guys to my talk on February 12th. I'm going to be talking about GERD and asthma. What do they have in common? And that they have something in common. And if you get that commonality right, no? If you correct that common thing, you may improve both asthma and GERD at the same time. So now, don't forget to type me on the comment section for your invite. So I want to see that me in the comment section for you guys. Alright, so let's go to our first question for this week. From Shasha, she asked, kapag tulog, biglang gumagalaw ang paa o kaya kamay. Ano ba to? What is this? Okay, so you might encounter this, you're sleeping like this and then the hand suddenly move like that, no? This is called myoclonus. And there are different types. If you don't have epilepsy, if it's not related with epilepsy, then we call it benign myoclonus for your younger people. Juvenile myoclonic epilepsy. If it happens to people who are asleep, then you call it sleep myoclonus or nocturnal myoclonus. However, the sleep myoclonus and the nocturnal myoclonus has been placed in an umbrella term called periodic limb movement disorder. Now, many times these myoclonus are considered somewhat, many times, but not always. They're often considered harmless, no, and that's why they're called benign, or some people even consider them somewhat normal, no. However, do you know that hyperventilation has been linked as something that can trigger myoclonus, both for sleeping and for epileptic seizures. So if your child frequently has sipon and you have myoclonus, or has GERD, hyperacidity, that frequently has that cough, and you don't know what is causing it, no? And poor posture, no? This posture is not good, or it's like this, no? You may want to consider hyperventilation as a possible problem, no? In children, you don't notice the hyperventilation as much, but it will get worse as they get older. And if you do correct it early, we can have the potential of improving posture and removing problems such as sipon, and the sleep will improve, no? So again, if you have myoclonus and then your son has frequently sinisipon, dry cough, unknown reason, has a history of asthma, or snores. These are potential signs that your child might have hyperventilation, and we can correct the hyperventilation component, which may help improve or even probably eliminate myoclonus in sleep. All right, so hyperventilation can compromise the internal respiration phase of breathing, which limits the oxygenation of your body cells. So this is one of the reasons why we want to correct hyperventilation. If you want to know more about hyperventilation, you can see me. You just type me in the chat in the comment section. I'll send you a talk on my lecture on February 12. I see myoclonus improve a lot when I teach people the Buteyko method. If you're an adult and you have myoclonus, what you may experience, you're asleep and you suddenly kick like this and you wake up. No, sometimes there's a dream that you're falling down. You're kicking and you wake up like this, and it can happen several times during the day. It can disrupt your sleep. It can be one of the reasons why you're always sleeping in the morning. So, and you'll need a lot of coffee because you're always sleeping in the morning. All right. So, when I teach people the Buteyko method, this improves. This actually, most people, it completely disappears, including myself, by the way. So again, if you're interested to know more about this, type me in the comment section and I can send you an invite for February 12. Alright, so Mona Lisa asks, pwede bang ipagsabay ang vitamin C and antibiotic? Well, there are a few medicines that vitamin C is known to interact with. Among the antibiotics, not so much. But the one that is known to really affect vitamin C and antibiotic, the antibiotic that is really known to react with vitamin C is tetracycline. Yes, tetracycline. If you take it with vitamin C, it can make your tetracycline absorption much faster. Actually, not just tetracycline, a lot of the antifungals also, they make the absorption much faster. Whether or not this is good or bad, it depends. No? It might be good because you'll get your tetracycline faster on your blood, but it could be bad because you might get an overdose of tetracycline. Now, Mona Lisa's question was for her child, and there's nothing really to worry about because we don't give tetracycline to children. Yes, we don't give tetracycline to children because it causes yellowing of the teeth. So not just tetracycline, but medicines that have similarity with tetracycline, doxycycline and minocycline. These things, they might cause yellowing of teeth for children, so we avoid them. Okay, so that's how it is with tetracycline. And also for tetracycline, do not drink tetracycline with your antacids such as aluminum hydroxide or magnesium hydroxide, because the tetracycline will form an insoluble salt and it'll just go out when you poop. So you won't absorb it, sayang yung pera nyo with the tetracycline if you drink it with antacids. So just to make things shorter, yes, vitamin C is relatively quite safe for most antibiotics. But if you would like to be sure, because there are many things that we don't know, to be sure, I would suggest you separate them. Give it 1 hour apart. Then in that case, you'll be more sure that there won't be any, or if ever there are interferences, it will be very minimal. Okay, Joyce Ramos asks, COVID vaccine with Montelukast plus levocetirizine medicine and sodium chloride nasal spray. Okay, Joyce. So first of all, you might want to ask, why are you taking Montelukast and levocetirizine? You take these medicines for allergies, no? For allergies, and allergies. Right now, if your son has a lot of allergies, when the COVID vaccine is given, there is actually a possibility that allergies may get worse, or it might trigger some of his allergies. So you should continue the Montelukast and the levocetirizine medicine if you are taking this with COVID. However, I would like to just give you a hint. You can look up Montelukast awareness groups and Montelukast side effects awareness groups in Facebook, and you'll find there are quite a number, and you may want to read up about Montelukast and its supposed long-term effect on children. So it's not yet completely been approved, or it's not yet completely proven of the long-term effects to children, but you may want to look it up and see for yourself, read about some of the studies that have been found on this, and decide for yourself if you would like to request a medicine change. No? The sodium chloride nasal spray is quite benign with COVID because it's a nasal spray. It's basically just salt and water, and you're spraying it into the nose. So it doesn't really, I don't see any reason why it would react with the COVID vaccine. Alright, so thank you, Joyce Ramos. One of the best ways, there is a way for us to help you remove these medicines from your child. naturally, no? Naturally, if you learn how to teach your child the Buteyko method, no? All right, for me, Mule, best na gamot sa allergic rhinitis and vitamins to boost the immune system. Well, I'll answer the second question first. What is the best vitamins to boost the immune system? Well, there are a lot of vitamins. Usually, they work best in combination. One of the combinations right now that has the best studies for boosting the immune system is vitamin C and zinc. So now you're starting to see a lot of these companies coming out with vitamin C and zinc as combination. Earlier on though, they have a problem because when you combine zinc with vitamin C, the two will react within the tablet, which deactivates the vitamin C. Zinc can deactivate the vitamin C, or the vitamin C will oxidize the zinc. It's an antioxidant, no? But it will react with zinc also. And so, in many times, these vitamin C or ascorbic acid or sodium ascorbate plus zinc tablets, they will react. And while they are in the shelf of the pharmacy, they can lose their potency very fast, even before you think it. So, a long time ago, before what companies would do is they would wrap the zinc in vitamin B. With vitamin B complex, the vitamin B complex would wrap the zinc so that it cannot interact with the ascorbic acid or sodium ascorbate. So this is why you see many of these vitamin B, vitamin C, and zinc combinations in the market. However, there is a company, a Philippine company, which developed a Philippine technology they were able to find a way to prevent the zinc from reacting with the vitamin C in the tablet. So they were able to create a very stable form of sodium ascorbate with vitamin C, and I would recommend this over other formulations because of this technology. No, many formulations they will lose their potency while in the storage. No? So if you want to know what particular formulation of vitamin C and zinc this is, you may send me a message. Please send me a message, DM me. Okay. Now, best na gamot sa allergic rhinitis. I'm sorry to say that I don't recommend any medicine at all for allergic rhinitis. First, you may have to test out which ones will work for your child. You have to try it out one over the other. There are herbals. There's rose hip extract and chrysanthemum. Some people say that this is really good. You have to try each one for your child. However, what I do recommend is a technique that will stop your allergies. No, my own children, I teach this technique when my son has a bit of sipon. I teach this. I tell him, okay, this is what you do, and the sipon disappears. On our way to school, I'm walking him to school, or I was before the pandemic, and I'd have him do the exercises on the way to school. When he gets to school, no more sipon, no more allergic rhinitis. This is the best way to get rid of allergic rhinitis, not through medicines, because with medicines, the allergy just keeps coming back, and you'll end up just purchasing medicines. All right, so this is if you're more interested to know more about this technique that I teach my children, please type me in the comment section below, and I will send you invites to my talk on February 12th. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. Type me in the comment section. So I am Dr. Charles Edward Florendo. I teach the Buteyko method through the breathing camp workshops. So my breathing camp workshops is the best way you can learn this world-renowned technique. The Buteyko method is a system that teaches you to listen to your body and to respond to it appropriately to stop asthma, allergies, and even things like sleep problems, no, and snoring. The Buteyko method can help you naturally. So if you want to learn more about this, type me in the chat box below or in the comment section below, and I will send you invites to my talk, February 12, 8:30 p.m. I'll see you. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.